Hello and welcome, everybody. My name is DreamInSilence, and this is Dream Builds, episode 8. Yes, we've got some big plans today, both building and letting you guys in on what I have planned. Also, we finally migrated the server, and I have mods again. Huzzah! But also, I now have access to a mod called Bobby Mod, which allows me to see much greater distances than I was ever able to before. And oh my god, you guys, just look at our main base area. I can see Jolly's house from my house now. That's life-changing. But you know what else is life-changing? Or would be life-changing? This many diamonds. I actually sent Spider a little message earlier, teasing her, pointing out that my tower is taller than hers now. It won't be here long though, because I am going to be fortuning all of these diamond ore blocks and seeing how many diamond blocks I get out of it. I have plans for what I'm going to be doing with all those diamonds, finally. I came up with an idea, and I'm kind of excited about it. I think it'll be fun. And I have a lot of exciting ideas and plans to share with you guys today, so I think it's time for me to just get digging so that we can get really going on everything that I want to show you guys today. Let's go. Well, guys, it took a couple in-game Minecraft days to do this. The last ones. Let's see how much we got out of it. Alright. We got 4 and almost the better part of a half stacks of diamond blocks out of that. But that's a lot of diamonds. The next thing on our checklist today, before we really get started, is to go to our project room, because we have a sign that we need to mark as a finished project. So let's do that. Boom. The house we finished last episode, and this episode we have a few things to do. I have plans to really finish and polish the roads for the main area. The other thing behind me there in red, you can see I want to connect the river. We have a river here that goes from the ocean in, and it starts going in, but then it stops, and then it continues, and then it stops again, and then you go over here and it starts and then it stops again, and then you reach the final, like, real river part. And let's not die here. And ow. And yeah, you can see it's really patchy. It's like as if the game wanted to generate a river through this whole area, but it's like it generated on top of itself with land or something. So what I want to do is fully connect this river together, and not just dig it out and put in water, but I'm gonna decorate it a little bit and make it look nice. And it will lead eventually out into this area here. And the roads and the river, I think, will be places where, you know, a lot of other small little builds will be built alongside of eventually over time. And so that's a good thing to finish off. Outside of that, the only other project that I really have left in mind is the stuff that I have planned for underground under my base, which I showed you before, but I have a quote-unquote secret underground lab, and it's not finished. But we're not going to be working on that yet today. I'm taking a break from working on my house area, and we have other projects that we need to turn our attention to. But that, the river and the roads, will really mark as the last projects that are me either renovating or finishing an old project. Everything else that I have planned from this point forward is all new stuff. And a lot of it is big plans. What I plan to do today with you guys, besides doing those building projects that I talked about just now, is I want to let you guys in on what plans I have for the future and what builds I'm going to be doing so that you guys can be along with me on it. And I don't just have to be like, hey guys, I did a thing, surprise, every time. But you guys can have something to look forward to with these videos, along with me. Before we get to building today, I have a few places that I want to take you guys to walk you through some of my big future plans that I want to accomplish in the near future. And the first location I would like to take you guys is right here in my lab, underneath my house. It's both meant to be my own personal industrial area and a homage to Resident Evil and the evil science labs that are always somehow underneath every structure that the games take place in. It is a very incomplete build. I do have what was the first and then the much larger and more complicated concrete machines that I used for getting all the concrete that I needed for the Witch Abyss. And I have a sugarcane farm, as well as a dark place where glow squids spawn. But that's about it right now. I have only slightly started expanding out further, but I have not really fully committed to working on this project. So this is one of the projects that I will be working on in the future. But right here in my hand, I have made a list of all of the main future projects that I'm going to be working on in future videos. The first one, the secret lab. And the next one is what I am calling the cathedral. Kubi and I decided a while ago that we wanted to make individual builds for all the different kinds of villagers that we would be trading with. And we thought making some kind of church, temple, or cathedral would be cool for the clerics. I was assigned the cathedral, so that's something that we will do in the future. By the way, these are not at all in any kind of sequential order. They are just in the order that I remembered them. But yeah, I haven't found a location that I am sure about yet for the cathedral, but I have a feeling it's probably going to be next to the library. And the next build on my list is what I've dubbed the factory. And what it's going to be is a mega factory full of a bunch of different kinds of farms. I have planned to put it over here, and it is going to be, I think, a pretty big build. I have a feeling it's going to be quite large. It's going to be an amalgamation of different buildings kind of shoved together, like built on top of each other, almost like layered more and more over time. I have a couple different aesthetic ideas for it, but I haven't fully landed on what that's going to be yet. But that is a pretty big project that we will eventually be working on. Right over there on the north side of the end of the road there. And the next thing for me to tell you guys about is a idea that Kubi and I came up with for this area over here, in between Kubi's house and Jolly's house. And I have gotten the okay from Jolly. What we want to do with this area is a mini-games district that will be themed after some sort of theme park or carnival or something like that. There will be lots of different mini-games and things and rides and whatnot. I think it will be a massive addition to this overall main base area, and it'll be quite fun. Now, the next two things are actually interlinked to each other. One of them is a project that I am undertaking myself. I think it's going to be a pretty big project, but I also think that it's a project that I could probably get done within one video. Right over here. Yes, I already have a conduit here. I decided that I want to build a very deep chasm. What I will be doing is making what is basically going to be a complete biome underwater of different corals and anemones and other kinds of underwater, I don't even know what the word you'd use for it is, but the living things that you would find on the bottom of the ocean, decorating the whole chasm, if you will. But it's not just going to be a chasm. No, it's not just that. It will be a entryway going directly down to what is going to be a group project that myself and I think a couple other of my friends on the server are going to be working on together. It is currently being referred to as the Underdark, which I've been told, I have not played it yet, but is a location in Baldur's Gate 3. There is a giant cave deep underground, almost directly under this area over here behind me. Clone has already built a big old mushroom over there. He has plans to build more, and we were also going to put a bunch of mushrooms and make basically a cavey, mushroomy underground biome down below. So that's going to be something that I will contribute to, but I won't be the only person working on it. The natural entrance down to it will be done by me. So the next idea that I had was actually meant to be for an old desert. In fact, the desert that I have completely wiped out a very large amount of the sand off of in order to make the Witch Abyss. I ended up realizing for this idea that I had to beautify that place a little bit more, it just wouldn't work with how small that desert actually is. I had this idea of decorating a desert in a Mad Max style, but I think to really get the immersion of it feeling like the world of Mad Max, it needs to be a much larger desert. So maybe we will find a larger desert someday and do that. And for me to show you guys the next actual location that I have scouted out for a project that is going to be what I'm pretty sure will be a mega build. We're going to have to take a little trip outwards here a little bit, and we'll fly past the Witch Abyss on our way there. Oh, hey. There's 2.5 years of my life right there. Isn't it beautiful? So way out here are these rocky hills that I found. This is very old generation. The kind that I don't think you really see anymore. And it's got so much space to work with very little trees or things to have to clear out. But I had this idea that I would really like to do a full biome transformation. I'm not going to tell you guys exactly what that transformation is going to be yet, but I have been gathering some really cool reference images to get ideas to create what will ideally feel like an entirely new biome that will almost feel alien in some way and just completely transform this entire area. And as you can see, this is a pretty large area. I think it may stop at this point, or it may just be this entire range of hills here. We'll see how far I end up wanting to take this whenever I get around to this project. But as you can see, there's a lot of hills to work with. But God, can you imagine how cool it would be to have an entirely new looking biome with different kinds of trees and plants and terrain and overall colors and details. And look at this block just floating here. Oh, 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 nice. We are definitely on the block right now. So yeah, this is a project that I am actually pretty excited about, and I may or may not get started on it not too long from now. It's a project that I will likely be working on over the course of multiple videos, off and on, because it is a really big undertaking. I think it'll be really worthwhile if done correctly. Part of my inspiration for doing a project like this was actually Pearlescent Moon's Hermitcraft Season 9 base. Watching her completely transform the hills that she built her base on into something completely new inspired me so much that it gave me ideas for something of my own that I could do sort of in that vein in a way. Because I've never really done a actual biome transformation, unless you count completely removing an entire biome and just making a big black hole where it used to be. I don't think that's quite the same. But yeah, this is a project that I may or may not be starting relatively soon. I'm just too excited to not want to work on it as soon as possible. So after that, we have another project that I haven't figured out a location for yet. I've had this idea for a bathhouse inspired by Spirited Away for years now. And I have been putting it off and putting it off while I've been working on mega projects like the Ocean Monument and the Witch Abyss for so long, I haven't figured out a place where I want to put that yet. But when I do, I'm really going to work hard on it to make it as immaculate and beautiful as possible. So yeah, lots of really big ideas. A lot of these projects are probably going to take more than one video for me to complete. I think that's exciting, but I think it's more exciting if you guys also know about it. And I have things that I can be working toward throughout my videos. And of course, I will also want to be working on other smaller little builds in between. And that's kind of what the roads and the river are for. Is spaces to put other cool little things. Good news, guys. In between recordings on this video, Replay Mod has been updated. Since we now have Replay Mod, it's time for a time lapse. So let's get to building. Here we go.
And I can tell you this one thing, we set a brand new record which may never be broken. The last record was 52 set back in 1954, and it looks like tomorrow will be our 54th day if things go well. This is what summer should be.
Well, you guys, that's going to have to be it for this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed, because it ended up taking me, once again, a little bit longer than I had expected. I kind of thought that just touching up the roads and connecting the river would be a relatively smaller project for me to do after telling you guys all about my plans, and it kind of turned into a bigger thing because I just couldn't help but want to detail everything, and I had to stop myself. I had to... Whoa, he almost shot me out of my boat. Watch out. But yeah, I ended up deciding that I had to just finish connecting the river and make it functional. And we can add more detail later. But I am really quite happy with how it turned out. Now that the river and the roads are all in place, the infrastructure of the main base is really well established. We can really just now move forward with building all kinds of cool new things. So, thank you everybody for watching. I appreciate it so much. It really does mean a lot to me that you guys watch my videos. So thank you. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you want to see more from me, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It helps my channel a ton. I really am trying to put these videos out a little bit faster, but I still haven't quite figured it out yet. One of these days, maybe I'll be able to get more than one video a month out to you guys, but for now, it's one video a month. But I did at least try to keep the rundown on this one a little bit, and I think I was successful. So, let's not babble any longer. I will see you guys next time. Take care of yourselves and each other. And don't forget, I love you face. Hey, get out of here! Get out of here! You're in my green screen. Well, anyways.